Hey everybody, this is Casey here. Thanks for tuning in. Today I am just going to walk you through the pair that I'm going to be watching for the week, which is EURAUD. And as you guys know, I start with a month or top-down analysis. And so I'm sitting here on my weekly chart on tradingview.com. As you can see, my chart, I don't like a chart with what I call Christmas lights. I don't like all those indicators. I don't like all the different colors. I think it's easier to digest like what's going on with just a simple, clean chart. And so I've formatted my chart so all the candles are the same color. I have no grid lines and I have no indicators. If you want a video to show you how to do that, I'll make sure I link one below, but let's get started. So on my analysis, what I typically do is on each time frame, I go in and I find the swing high and the swing low. So I am on my weekly chart, of which I've saved the time up here and added those time frames that I frequent here. And so I am going to mark this as my swing high because that's the obvious high. And as I've mentioned in previous videos too, I save templates just because I go through a lot of charts. So today I'm on the charts just a little bit early because I am preparing for my weekly FOREX ritual. And what that is every Saturday morning we have a group of people who get together and we just review what's going on in the market, just like a bird's eye view. So we can know during the week which pairs to focus on, which ones have the highest reward setups, and just kind of organize my week just a little bit better. So I make sure that my time is well spent. So I'm trying to get in because I find it most valuable once I've gone through this information. It's more beneficial to me when we do the markup as a group. So. And what I've done on this time frame is that I've just identified my swing high and my swing low. So swing high is an obvious point. Remember, we're looking for a center candle that's really, really tall and two candles to the left, two candles to the right that are lower. For those of you who may not understand, I'm going to draw it out. And just remember that this can be any variation of this. So the candles could have wicks. They could just be full body candles. But most often when you're looking at a high or low point, you're probably going to see a couple wicks. But for the purpose of today, I'm just going to draw the general look of the formation. And so what I'm looking for on the time frames is real simple. Obvious high and obvious low points. And again, it won't be perfect like this all the time, but it should resemble some formation of this drawing. So that's my high point formation, which is why I have chosen this. And then for the low point, let me see if I can. I don't think I can. For the low point, I'm looking for the inverse. So I'm looking for the lowest point center candle, and then two candles to the left that are higher, and then two candles to the right that are also higher. And again, most often you're going to see wicks, because these areas that we're identifying are like significant areas where price reacts to. And so like you see up here, price approached this level, but it wicked. So there was a lot of selling pressure waiting at this level. And so when you see a wick, that means that the body of the candle got this high and then price pushed it all the way back down. The sellers in the market pushed it back down. And so that's what we're looking for on each level. So let me clear these out. I hope this helps. I'm not the greatest drawer on the computer. Okay, and so when I go through, and I might be moving just a little bit fast, so forgive me, but I am looking for swing high, swing low. And so the obvious of what I've identified, and I'm actually going to move this up just a little bit. This is a zone right here. So swing high, swing low, the next high, right? Swing high, swing low, the next high. And on here, you got swing high, right? Swing high, or actually swing high, swing low. This is the next low, but it's so close to the long-term support that I just went for the next low. So you got to swing high, and I'm gonna put this as, let me see. This is my next level right here. Yep. And so I'm gonna put this as my next level, and I'll drop a horizontal line here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And let me change this. I'm just gonna put that it's not a D extension or a retracement. Well, it probably is a retracement level. Okay, so the reason I chose this area is real simple. It's real simple. Hopefully you guys are starting to get it with the repetition. So the areas that I count as of key significant areas are areas where price was once resistance and turned support, or the opposite, where price was support and turned resistance. So right now we see most recently price approached this level, and we see those wicks there. So price rejected off of that level and came down and looks to have formed a new low, although we don't know yet because we have 2 more candles that we need to form in order to see that. But right now, it looks like we've got that going on because we got 2 candles to the right or the left that are higher, a low center point, and what I'm expecting is 2 candles to the right that are higher. So here are my points that I'm looking at. That was resistance. This is support. This is support. This is resistance. And we can go back. I can confidently go back and see, without having seen these areas, just off the price action alone, I can see that this is a significant area. Look at this. Price tried to break through, it didn't, it came down. Tried to break through, it didn't, it fell off. Then we get back here, it approaches, it tries to break through, it doesn't. It breaks through on this attempt, shoots up, comes back down and sits right at this level, right? And so if we keep, if we keep scrolling left, like your whoever you're learning from may be telling you, you know, look left, and you're like, what? For what? What am I looking for? This is what you're looking for. You're looking for areas where support was once resistance and resistance is now support. Look at that. We're all the way back in September of 2015, and look where price came right up to that line and rejected off. So these are areas that are important to pay attention to. And usually I look for 3 points of confirmation where it's been resistance and where it's been support. And then I know that that's an area that I need to pay attention to. Okay, so I'm just clearing these out. And I'm going to actually pick a different level. This is going to be my daily because I have a swing high, swing low, new high, swing high, swing low, new high. So I'm going to mark this because I know I'm going down to the 4 hour. And I'm going to mark this high as my next high. And then if you look left, like if we stretch this across, I'll probably bring this down just a little bit. If you look across, like this is an area, this is a zone. Look how price wicked up and then came right back down. And remember, it's not a line that we're going for. It's a zone. A zone. Okay. So this was my 4 hour resistance. And so this is my intermediary resistance. I don't think I have it, so I gotta get rid of this line. And I have to put array. Oh Lord. Oh, I think I had it here. What did we say? Intermediate resistance. Okay. And the reason I choose this as intermediate resistance because this is the next level where price could change into support. So right now it's resistance, but given a little time, it's likely going to change into support. Right? So I've drilled down to the 4 hour. I'm gonna go down to the 1 hour. And remember, we're looking for highs and lows. And I'm likely going I'm likely going to change this again. This is my intermediate, gosh, resistance. Just because I'm looking across this level and I see it, there's a lot of, like I say in my other videos, action, as my cousin would say, in this area. So this is the area I want to pay attention to. And so on the 1 hour, my next level, swing high, swing low, next high. And this is already above the zone, so I'm going to choose this area as my next high. And I'm going to show y'all why again. So here, resistance, resistance. Yeah, weak support here. But support here, definitely. Support here. A breakthrough and a retest here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this with a ray. Uh-oh, I chose the wrong thing. Horizontal ray. So I think we were here. So I'm going to scoot over and label this my hourly resistance. And so I'm zeroing in and drilling down to like where price is right now, right? And so we see back in June, price made an attempt to break above and hold above hourly resistance, but it couldn't hold. It did break above, but then it came back down. And so you kind of have to be like a detective to figure out like what's going on. So I am looking, what's going on? Let me put in my trend lines. You're like creating a story basically, right? Of what's happening. And so I'm gonna draw my trend lines. And what I do is I draw, it's like connect the dots. You draw until you hit the top of another candle. You don't want to cut through candles. I make my trend lines light because again, I don't like my chart looking overcrowded with stuff. And as I can zoom in, I kind of clean up what I'm seeing just a little bit. And so I stop right here because the wick touches the trend line there. All right, so I drew from the last point that the trend line, the outer trend line touched, and I used that as the first point for my inner trend line, and I just drew to connect the next trend line that it touched. And I know I cut through candles, but price has broken the down structure, and we see that here. So price broke structure here, and it came back and retraced. And then I'm assuming this is a an extension that it hit, and it's also a level of support. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna go down to a lower time frame just to see. So this is kind of like, as my mentor says, being a detective to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to use my Fibonacci tool in order to tell me a story. What's going on here? So the last high, this is the last high, right? So I just measure from my swing high to swing low, which is high to low, and I can see price created this boundary, an AB boundary, and it retraced to the 61.8 level right here. And I'm going to put this over so y'all can kind of see the numbers. Well, maybe not, but this is the 61.8 level. So price broke down and created like a boundary. Then price retraced to the 61.8 level. Now, based theoretically speaking, since price retraced back to the 61.8 level, it should complete at the 1618 level. And TradingView is weird, so I have to put it in as a negative. But this is the 1618 level, right? So look how it lines up perfectly with our daily support. So price came through here and finally, ultimately, ended up at this level. So it's hit an extension, and it's also hit the lowest point in a while. So if we go back to the 4 hour, like this is This is a low. Price hasn't been this low since June, and before that in February, and at the beginning of 2020. So this is a low that we need to pay attention to. And so now what I got to do is figure out what's happening next. We broke in structure, the down structure, and we are going up. So now I'm going to guess this is a fib level. I'm going to take my Fibonacci tool, because after hitting an extension, price should likely reverse. And I'm going to measure from my high, or my low to my high. And I'm going to switch these to the other way so that you guys can see better. So I went from my low to my high, right? And so it looks like price came down to the 78.6 level. It retraced that far, and it retested the backside of this trend line, and didn't break below. So I actually got in on a buy on this one. And my entry was at the 61.8, so I was in a little bit of drawdown, but anywhere between, hold on, so I'm going to change this to green. So price came through, touched here, and based on what we know about Fibonacci, blue to blue, red to red, green to green. So the 78.6 D extension is the 1.27, and again in TradingView you got to enter it as negative 2.7. And so I anticipated that price was coming here. Although I didn't take profit here, I'm holding because I know we got a ways to go up. But you see how this happened in 15 minutes, and I believe all of this happened like this because the market was closing for the weekend. So price hit this level, reject it, hit this level, reject it, and so it's like kind of like in the middle. The buyers and the sellers are fighting. But ultimately, I believe that I'm going to see, before a bigger retracement, price reach at least this level, and then it's going to retrace. So had I taken, let's see, my buy was at the 61.8. So this was a quick 37 pips. If you're a scalper, that's a great setup, great opportunity. And then ultimately, before a bigger correction, I think we're going here. But let me see. This is a short term. I like longer term trades. So we're at daily support, and I didn't do an hourly support. Overall though, let's see. This was the last high, so I'm just going to put my fib from high to low. I think the first stop is probably going to be somewhere around here, 61.8. And then we'll have to play it by ear from there. But yeah, so I think this pair is going long, and at least for a little while. Yeah, at least for a little while. Just because we're at the low, we're at the daily, the long-term low, or are we? Hold on, we're at the daily low. So I think we're going for a little ride up for a little bit. But hopefully this was helpful. Comment below. I need you guys to tell me if like this stuff is useful for you. I don't want to make content that's not helping you all. So if you can give me some feedback on what you think about the video, it is greatly appreciated. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you on the next video. Bye.